Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to COMR 103 Speaking and Listening, Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is going to talk about developing topics for your speech. A really good information throughout this particular chapter. All right, so when we look at developing your topics, the chapter talks about several things. Number one, it talks about the general purpose of your presentation. Is it to inform? Is it to entertain? Is it to persuade your audience? What is the general purpose of you developing this particular presentation? Then once you have that down, then you can move into the specific purpose. So what is the specific purpose while you're there? What is your audience? What do you want your audience to walk away with once you're done with your presentation? The chapter talks about three really important components, though, in helping you get to that specific purpose. And they are, number one, yourself. What is your background? What is your experience? What's your expertise in? Pick a topic that you're comfortable with. It'll make it so much easier. The second one is your audience. Remember we talked in Chapter 2, audience analysis? Get to know your audience. Who's going to be in the audience? What do they want? What do they want to know? What do you want them to walk away with? That'll help you to develop your topic of your speech. And then finally, the content, the context itself. You've got to know how much time you have. Is it 10 to 15 minutes? Is it 15 to 30 minutes? How much time? Where am I giving this presentation at? Is it going to be outdoors, indoors? What's the venue, basically? And finally, what's the reason? Why am I being invited to this presentation? So these are all very important aspects to know as you start developing your topics for your speech. Then you'll formulate your central idea, okay? And this is how we do this. I've given you two examples here. Let's look at the first one. Specific purpose, to demonstrate to my audience the correct method for cleaning a computer keyboard. Okay, that's my purpose. Now, what's going to be my central ideas? Your computer keyboard needs regular cleaning to function well, and you can achieve that in 4 easy steps. And then you will go in and you'll talk about 4 main points. You'll talk about each step as a main point, and you'll step it right through for your audience, and then they'll understand how to clean their keyboard. The final part of the chapter goes into some of the problems to avoid when you are selecting a specific purpose or a central idea. There's 6 of them listed here on this slide, but I'm going to cover the first 2. The first one is specific purpose statements sometimes try to cover too much. So if I ask you for a topic and you say World War II, I'm going to probably tell you to get it a little bit more specific, because World War II lasted for 6 to 7 years and it's just too broad. And so maybe you want to bring it down to one campaign or maybe one battle within that campaign, and then you can go ahead and go from there. The second one is maybe your purpose statement is too specific, and only about 25% of your audience will understand it, so it only applies to them. So you got to be very careful. You don't want to be too general, but you also don't want to be too specific that it very much eliminates 3/4 of your audience. So Chapter 4 goes into developing topics for your speech. I hope that you are able to read the chapter, get some great information out of it. So again, I will see you on my next video.